Hey y'all, my guest this month is Sedrick Stewart. Sedrick is a native of Clarksdale, Mississippi and earned his bachelor's and master's in engineering from the University of Mississippi. His current career focuses are systems and network engineering as a systems engineer for the Navy, and he's supported IT departments for both FedEx and the U.S. Army. He gives back to the community through a mega sci-fi fraternity, NSBE, and INCOSE. In his spare time, he loves to fish and travel. And in addition to all that, he's also the MC for the CEJC's annual Engineers Week banquet, and we're so excited to have him. So please enjoy my wide-ranging conversation with Sedrick Stewart.
Welcome, Sedrick. Thanks for being here, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we'll just jump right into it. What's been your favorite job so far in your career?
My favorite job so far probably was my second job out of college. I was a contractor for the Army. And I got to learn a lot. I got to travel a lot. I spent a lot of time at the Aberdeen Proving Grounds supporting several different Army projects. So that was really interesting. It taught me a lot about how the government works. And, being so young, it taught me a lot about just interacting with civilians as well as military, as well as people who are much older in their career and those of us who are much younger.
Did you have any idea going into it what it was going to be like, or was it kind of a little bit of a culture shock in a way?
Very much a culture shock. Of course, in the interview and in talking to the higher ups, they gave me a spiel on what it was like, and it was somewhat like that, but it was far more intense. The level of work and what we were responsible for was pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I remember my first job out. Well, it was like during college. It was an internship, and I had no idea, what I was getting into. But it was in a good way. It ended up being something that I really enjoyed. But yeah, it's interesting how those first jobs can really shape the rest of your career.
Absolutely.
100%. Cool. So what was one of the best decisions you made early on in your career?
So one of the best decisions I ever made was, for one, to go directly into graduate school after undergrad. Just stay broke for 2 more years. It wasn't that bad. And another decision was, to pick up a second skill set. I came out of school with my mind on doing this one thing, and I wasn't getting as much feedback from the market for that skill set. And that was mostly networking, and it just wasn't getting as much. But I saw some openings to do systems administration, mostly around the Linux environment. And I really did not like doing that kind of work. But, I need to stay employed, so I did it. But now it's one of my fortes. It's one of my favorite things to do.
That's cool. I've noticed a similar. There's some things like I was not passionate about until you dive into it, and then you spend so much time with it that a passion can develop.
Yes, I think that's grows on you.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think that they have to pick the thing that they're going to be passionate about. But sometimes in your situation, like with you, it kind of grows. You don't realize it's going to be.
A tunnel vision of doing what I wanted to do wasn't working. So it was definitely great to pick up a second skill set that I was passionate about.
Right. Awesome. If you could go back in time, what advice would you give to your 18 or 20-year-old self?
My 18 or 20-year-old self, I would tell him to probably branch out a little bit, do some study abroad. So I got to do some traveling before college and some way after, but in those days I didn't do a whole lot. But I wish I had, if not going to, somewhere overseas, at least go to Maine or somewhere I've never been to experience life there in college there for at least a semester.
Cool. That's some good advice, man. Where have you traveled since then?
So for personal and professional, I've been, quite a few places in the United States. I think I've counted about 24 states so far.
Nice.
Been to Canada a few times, which I really enjoy. Been to Italy a couple times, been to Germany and Switzerland. Those have been some pretty cool places.
Yeah.
Went to Paris and Amsterdam this past year.
Nice. That's awesome, man. It definitely changes your perspective, just like getting out of your home country or even your home state,
Yes.
So in the systems engineering world, what's some of the traits, more on the soft skill side, some of the personality traits that you have that's made you successful in that career? And what are some of the traits you think that would help someone that also wanted to attain your level of, mastery of the career?
I would say, for one, being personable and being, having the humility to understand that you're not going to understand a lot of these processes from beginning to end because they're just too vast. So you're going to have to work with other people. And with that, you're going to have the ability to one, initiate the conversations. You're going to have the ability to say, hey, I don't know. And you're going to have the ability to say, hey, I was wrong in the way I did this. And that's all good and fine, but you have to understand that it's going to be most likely it's going to be a system that's too big for one person to understand. And you're going to have to work with those other groups.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of times, and especially in engineering, I've noticed there's like this ego problem, where people feel like they have to have all the answers. They feel like it's a weakness if they have to say I don't know. But really, the most successful, like I had that problem when I was early on in my career. I would fake it till you make it, and that's totally the wrong, totally the wrong mindset. Like the guys that were the best, like the guys 30 years in their career, like had all the answers. I thought, I was shocked when we go in the meeting. They'd be like, I don't know, I don't know the answer, but we'll figure it out,
Right.
Like that was such a huge mental shift for me too. It's not like you say I don't know and then they're going to be fired.
No, not even close to the point.
Yeah. That's the first step to figuring out what the problem is or what the solution is. Yeah, man, that's awesome. So what's the proudest achievement of your career to this point?
I'll say the proudest achievement in my career. I think it is lots of smaller events that happened. A lot of them involved what seemed like, catastrophic failures in something. A system went down when it wasn't supposed to go down. I've had several of those. And I always seem to be the guy on duty when that happens. And being able to get things back going in a reasonable amount of time has probably been my greatest accomplishment. Being able to figure things out in a little bit of time, no matter the stress level.
Yeah. Thinking on your feet. Yeah.
Yes, sir. You have to.
Yeah. Yeah, and those kind of jobs, you have to stay in fighting shape. It's how I think about it. It's just you have to be in a constant, head on a swivel, like running different scenarios in your mind. Like, how am I going to respond in this situation? Yeah, not very many people have that skill. So I'd say it's a superpower.
I'll take it.
Cool. So as far as hobbies, you got what do you do for fun, man?
Oh man, probably my favorite hobby besides traveling the world is fishing.
Oh, nice.
If there's any body of water out here, I'll drop a line.
Saltwater, freshwater.
Both, because I grew up with freshwater in Mississippi.
Yeah.
In North Mississippi, so I'm used to freshwater. I adapted to the saltwater here, so I'm good with salt and catching flounder and reds and whatever else willing to bite.
Nice.
I also do some video gaming.
Yeah, cool.
Been playing my PS5 a little bit more lately.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
While you're on here, is there anything you'd like to promote? Any upcoming events with any of your organizations or anything in particular?
Sure. I would like to promote the CEJC banquet. Is coming up this month. If you haven't bought your tickets, please do. They have a couple scholarships they're offering. The National Society of Black Engineers has a scholarship they're offering. So be on the lookout for it. And if you're not involved in a nonprofit in your field, please do so. There's lots of work to be done. Make sure that these young people understand all of their options, whether it be in education or the sciences or the arts. Get involved, and let's get these kids on a path to success.
Yeah, it's a worthy cause.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Yeah, we're excited to have you as MC for the event, man. It's gonna be great.
I'm excited to be there, man. I appreciate you guys giving me the honor.
Yeah, that's honors all ours. Well, awesome, Sedrick. Is such a pleasure to talk to you, dude.
All right, Swain, you have a good day.
Looking forward to you too, man.
All right.